Melissa.
Hi, Deborah. How are you?
I'm great. Thanks for welcoming me to Penflora.
Welcome to Penflora.
Well, we'll come in and maybe have a little tour.
Sounds good.
Oh my gosh. So we're in Burlingame. Tell us where you're at in relation to San Francisco and what this market is.
So Burlingame is about, I would say, 15 miles from San Francisco, south of San Francisco. Takes a little longer than that with traffic, but so we are nicely located, and then go further down Silicon Valley. So San Francisco Bay Area is where we are. And we are a block off of Burlingame Avenue in Burlingame. So it's a little bit quieter, but not totally quiet, and kind of right in the center of town.
So who are your customers? Are they locals or people from out of town who are on vacation looking for a gift?
It's a real combination of people. We will get everyone from a young gentleman coming in to get a bouquet for a girlfriend and maybe a little something to go with it, or someone that is local and just a regular, and we see them often, and this is where they come for their gifts.
Oh, my goodness.
And maybe flowers or whatever it might be. And then we have folks that come from, Palo Alto, Menlo Park.
When I knew it was going to be in the Bay Area, I really wanted to interview you. I wanted to come see you, and I literally did not realize what you had going on here. I thought it was just a design, not in a negative way, but a design studio. I didn't know you did retail. So Introduce us to Penflora. How do you describe the business?
Well, we do a lot of different things. My kind of elevator pitch is if I'm talking to someone and I want to work with them, or maybe bring in their product, or they ask what we do, I say we're a sustainably minded floral design studio. And we have home and gift items. A lot of center of the table, but really the gifts have kind of spread outside of that.
But that's a good starting point, because the flowers are at the center of the table. So everything related to that is determining your buying decisions for
a lot of
inventory?
it.
Okay.
Yeah. And then we have brought in a few personal items, a lot of hostess gifts and things like that. Sure. So it's just kind of morphed a little bit beyond. I've always been a forager of plants and things. So I love antiques and vintage. I dry all the flowers that you see.
Okay. So I cut you off. You said not just plants, but even like antiques and vintage items.
I love antiques and vintage. So my sustainable floristry isn't just the flowers that I like to buy local as much as I can, but also repurposing a vintage vessel of some sort, or maybe using something that was never meant to be for flowers and do flowers in that. I just think it makes so much fun to start from a vessel and be kind of more creative that way.
And you said that this shop, it's expanded, but so total you've been here 2.5 years?
2 years.
Oh, 2 years. Okay. Had you done retail before this? Because you do this so effortlessly. This is just so beautiful.
Oh, thank you. No. Not really. Our old space, we were in a space for 3 years that all my friends would call my laboratory. And, and have all sorts of logs and wood and huge pieces that I was lucky to have space to put somewhere.
Was it larger than this?
It was a little bit larger than both combined.
Okay.
And it had a back room that could keep all of that stuff. And then I still had my space to actually get other things done. But and then I had a little vestibule of things that I just make, and was open 1 day a week and by appointment, and so it was just very simple that way. I taught classes there and did weddings and dinner parties and all that sort of thing. Mm-hmm. Not so much delivery there, not very much delivery.
But floral design was sort of at the heart at that time.
Yes.
More than a fully, this is a lifestyle store.
Yes, it definitely is. I would say that I actually really started in landscape, and that's where I got my love. My parents are always had wonderful parties and beautiful gardens and bringing it all, the beauty inside. And so I think my appreciation started there, and I started doing landscape design for our house, our first house. And then ended up doing actually a program at Fioli that was a year-long program, and just dove into landscape.
Oh my goodness.
Loved it. And this is where my idea from garden to vase came. So it really wasn't thinking sustainably necessarily. It was more just all this beauty is right here. Why do I need to go to Trader Joe's or wherever and get flowers? So I started that way. I have to say I'm very lucky for that because I'm not formally trained as a floral designer. And so I didn't have to get off of the floral drug,
and
if
all
you
the
will.
bad habits.
Oh, the foam drug is what I meant.
Right, I know what you mean.
So, the floral foam, people have a really hard time getting off of it, and it's so useful. So I've never had the need for it. So it's very fun. And I think I thought floral design was a little frivolous, really, initially. Mm-hmm. But I became a member of the Garden Club of America, and I was hort-oriented, and then all of a sudden got this real floral design bug.
Because that's one of their emphases.
It is.
Yeah.
They do a lot of it. A lot of that and environmental stuff and horticulture. Yeah. So it's a real combo.
Your mention about not thinking that what you were interested in was necessarily sustainable, what came to mind as soon as you said that was, no, it was seasonal.
Yeah.
Because if your orientation is the landscape, and you're California born and bred?
Yes,
so
through and through.
you have lived in this landscape. You see what is seasonal, and that's got to be influencing what you want to put in the vase.
Yeah, and people often say, well, what's your favorite flower? And I don't really have one. I probably have one per season,
I would agree completely, like whatever's blooming now.
Yeah, there's always a beautiful thing, like when the hellebores pop up. I mean, what better, right?
Yeah.
And they're so fun to design with and kind of unique, and there's so many varieties. But yeah, so it's really fun. It's been a fun journey.
Well, so this arc of moving from your own landscape and artwork to studying landscape design to doing arrangements to now you're a full service retail floral studio.
Yeah.
Give me all the facets of what you do, because you mentioned weddings events, you mentioned workshops.
Yes, there are a lot of buckets for sure, which kind of keeps the business interesting. And I have a tendency to like to pop around from different creative outlets anyway, so it allows me to do that. But I would say we do the floral design, so that's events, weddings, daily deliveries. We'll have bouquets for pickup. People come in and buy stems. We have a fun thing called the flower bar where people just come in and we give them a bucket of stems and a vase and the equipment, and they just go to town and have a nice social little hour of making flowers at one of the big tables.
Is that a certain time of the week or month, or?
We have days designed for it, but really we will do it pretty much whenever someone wants to do it. And sometimes we have an after hours bar too, so that's kind of fun. People bring in their drinks and hang out and do their flowers and go on to dinner, or so that's fun. And then another facet is, of course, the retail. And
maybe we should walk around and see some of the departments.
Everything from
it's not like you have a specific candle department and a specific note card department. They're all integrated.
We do kind of like to do little vignettes. I love doing vignettes in the garden too, so it's just like a little part of how we often do things.
Oh my gosh, this massive dining table then is...
This is a foraged item.
Is it?
Yeah, that's a Facebook Marketplace, old Victoria's Secret table.
You know what? It's so tall. I was wondering if you had artificially built longer table legs.
No.
It's for retail. It's perfect, right?
Yeah. Isn't that crazy?
Goodness. And then you have like a coffee table on top of it. What a nice merchandising trick. Just to get height, right?
We are full of little tricks around here. But yeah, so kind of the personal items. And then we have some baby. A lot of candles. We just recently re-merchandised that and brought in the candles.
Melissa, it looks so residential. Like these bookcases, obviously they're larger than someone's library, but they feel like, and then you put them on either side of a fireplace mantle. Beautiful.
Yeah, it's been fun putting it together for sure.
And then
We're always moving things around.
And then this is your new space that came about and you expanded.
We did.
Oh my goodness. I just love the color of the walls.
And you see a lot of dried in here. We do all of our own drying. We dry all of our, all the plants and flowers and things that you see.
So yes, you do have a lot of dried flowers.
Yeah, a lot of dried flowers. We love to make wreaths. And oftentimes, you know, life of the florist, you always have extras. So that's where my drying started because I can't throw anything away. You can tell.
Well, I see all these
anything with
pods.
potential.
Like this, I love this Christophii allium seed hat. I see a few of those.
Yes, those are from a girlfriend, actually. She grows those in her garden, and she always brings me those the last 2 years, this time of year.
Yeah.
So those are really special. We love them.
And then this chandelier is amazing.
Thank you. That was a find, you know, and then had it electrified because we just needing more light.
All those pods in there are
And
amazing.
Yep. And then we, you know, change it up for each season.
Oh my gosh.
Make it interesting. Yeah.
This stand in the corner, is that just ingredients that you pull from for various dried flower arrangements or wreaths? Or
They're for sale.
Okay.
Yeah. People come in and buy dried quite often, actually. Or they come in and want an dried arrangement. So we'll do that for them. It's a real combo.
I mean, even back to my comment about how residential it feels, you have expanded with this wonderful, comfy sofa.
The sofa came from the old spot.
Oh, did it? Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
And I've had people working for me that really want to get rid of the sofa, but I will not let it go. I just love it feeling welcoming and comfortable.
Are these pillows for sale?
They are.
Okay,
Yeah.
and then you have books on here.
Yeah.
So it's useful. It's playing a role.
Mm-hmm.
I
Yeah.
love it.
That's what I
love
say.
it. And more tabletop.
More tabletop. And we even press flowers. I make little handbags.
Oh my gosh, you're kidding. You made that?
Yes.
And then you press them and then
Apply them.
Uh-huh.
Yep.
And is that a vintage canister?
That's a vintage canister.
And someone will have that as like a little party bag.
Nighttime.
It's sparkly.
Yes. That's a sparkly one. I also do them with a combination of dried and
Oh my gosh.
and textile flowers, and then I do these little beading spots.
Oh my goodness.
So
That's a lot of work.
yes, it is a lot of work, but
And is that something?
I have so much fun.
I mean, I could see it as a fun garden party purse, but it could be for a flower girl too, right?
Yes, totally. Combination of whatever you wanted to use it for. I have one friend that bought one as a plant pot.
So beautiful.
It's
Oh
a
my
very
goodness.
extravagant plant pot, but
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
I want to ask you about your workshops because it seems
Okay.
you mentioned the bouquet bar.
yes.
That's kind of like the simplest of activities
Yes.
here. You've got more involved workshops, and can we see your space?
Yeah, so we took on this extra space pretty recently because we're teaching workshops down at our old space and just didn't have the space here to do it. I kind of brought in too much retail, I think.
Well,
But
in the other space, you really would have to move things around to accommodate
Right.
students, right?
we would clear the big table and make it happen, but this is much more fun. Just did a wreath workshop on Friday, or Saturday, I guess it was. But we'll do everything from wreaths, terrariums, kokodamas, floral design, hand-tied bouquets, centerpieces, just kind of runs the gamut. People can do a private party if they want to, and there's a minimum of usually 10 people. And then they can also just do a ticketed event.
Mhm.
So we'll have a ticketed event usually at least once or twice a month, depending upon how busy we are with the private stuff.
I was intrigued when you said that you'll have a visiting artist on sort of a crossover topic or theme, right?
So we love bringing in, visiting artists. We've had a calligrapher come in, which was really well attended, and we figured that kind of flows into our tabletop theme. And because, everybody wants to do a nice note card or write a nice note or just have a little flair to their writing. So that was really fun. We had a watercolorist come. She did a beautiful job. It was botanical art. I have some of her prints in the shop, so it was kind of a nice
Yeah.
segue. And we have others that we're looking into and just working with people. We had a chocolatier that we wanted to have, but that's become a little bit more complicated. So,
well, coming toward the holidays and for harvest and holiday, you probably have, you mentioned the wreaths. You probably have more entertaining oriented floral design.
We've done this fun thing the last 3 years of the day before Thanksgiving. We do a Thanksgiving centerpiece workshop.
Oh my gosh.
And so it's kind of like get out of the kitchen and come do your flowers for the table. So that's a really fun one.
That's great.
Yeah. And we had wine tasting. Done a kind of a myriad of different things just to, you always need new people discovering us. So that's kind of one of the reasons why we do it is, to bring community in. We love community. We did Dahlia Day, which is...
oh, that looked amazing. Was that a fundraiser?
Yes. So the proceeds from that go to Samaritan House, which is a local 50-year-old wonderful organization that helps, people that need the support.
Wow. So how did this philosophy come about, this philosophy of wanting to be seasonal and sustainable especially in your floral design business, because that's where you started?
Yeah. I would say it was organic. It came, from my love of the garden.
Yeah.
And no pun intended.
Yeah.
But it really did. It wasn't like I don't think I knew enough about the flower world to realize that what was happening and to realize that floral foam was, I always disliked floral foam from the touch to I didn't like anything about it, so I just never used it. But I never realized how useful it was.
Yeah.
And people were so trained with it.
Yeah.
And I never realized the journey that flowers take, and the kind of toxic stuff that's sprayed on them along the way that we really don't even know. So it was like something that I just figured, I don't really need to do that. And like I said, I thought floral design was a little bit frivolous. I mean, I kind of felt like, the garden is where it's at. And then I just got a love for, flowers are just so special. It's just nature. It's just, the beauty surprises me every single day, which I just truly love. So
I really connect with what you're saying, Melissa, because I'm the same way. I came at the Slow Flowers movement as a gardener and a garden writer. And so I was confronted with my wrong assumptions about where do flowers come from.
Right.
And yes, and I never took a formal floral design course from the old school where you would have been taught using, kind of a foam-based design.
Yeah.
So we're a lot alike in that regard.
Yeah.
But
funny.
It's so refreshing for your clients probably that they see your aesthetic is different.
Yeah, it is definitely different. It definitely is not real prescribed.
Mm-hmm.
And I like to be a little bit more freeform.
Yeah.
And I like to combine dried with living, which I'll do later today. And just kind of use what's there and what's available. And sometimes we'll use things that you just can't resist it. It's so beautiful. And, I feel like there's better, best, and good. Good enough. Someone said that. Shane said that. And I so resonated with that, if we all try to do our best, that's.
And you want people to just fall in love with nature, not to feel guilty about their choices. So I feel like with teaching, you're really introducing this idea in a gentle way.
Yeah, definitely. And, if a bride comes in peonies, she has to have peonies, on her special day, or someone passes. We do a lot of sympathy flowers. If someone passes and, something was just this person's flower, I'm not going to say, no, sorry, it's out of season.
Right.
We're going to work in other things, but we're definitely going to have it be part of the story.
Mm-hmm.
We've done sympathy flowers where we've gone to someone's garden and cut from, she was a gardener, a wonderful gardener, and, cut from her garden to do the arrangements, which was really special. That was super special.
Yeah.
So
that's wonderful. And what is your routine for buying? Do you go to the San Francisco Flower Market? You mentioned some of the people you buy from. Do they come here? How do you source?
I primarily go.
Okay.
And
You're
it's
close
funny.
enough, I guess.
Yes, I go up there at 4 a.m. and do my little trek through and spend, an hour and a half talking to all, and they're like friends, so I love going to say hi to everyone at the different stations, and see other designers, and it's just fun. It's fun.
And that makes me suspect that you like to see what you're buying. You don't pre-order necessarily.
I don't too much. If I'm doing a wedding and I need masses of things and I kind of really need to know that I have it, I will order. If it's for a dinner party or for a smaller event where I can be a little bit more flexible, oftentimes I go and I see something and I'm like, okay, that's going to be the thing. That's going to be, and it could be to filler, like not an important flower, but it's just so fabulous and in season, and then I'm just like, okay, that's the thing.
That's the starting point.
Yeah. So I'm a little, that's what happened with my, my design for later on today, that, I saw the artichokes and flowering and I was like, I just can't not use those.
Well, and I hope when you do the demo that you talk about the vessel, because that's unconventional too.
Yes, it's totally unconventional, but.
Wow. Well, this is so special. If someone was coming in from out of town, I would encourage them to look on your website and check out your events calendar, because you do often have like 3 or 4 weeks out where you've posted what's coming on.
Yes.
And I want people to come visit you. You're so close to the San Francisco airport.
We are close.
If you had a layover, this would be a perfect side trip.
Yeah. We've actually thought about bringing in coffee. We're like, just come hang out. But I don't know. We haven't done that. I'm not sure we need another bucket.
Right. You mean like a espresso bar?
Yeah. Yeah. I have a friend who wants to do his espresso bar here, and he makes incredible scones, and but
he can be a pop-up at the holidays.
Yeah, I'm just not sure we can add another layer.
Well, you've occupied the whole downstairs of this building. There's nowhere to
But, through and through, we just try to, our goods are focused on handmade, beautiful items. We really try not to source things that are meant to be kind of used for a year and you get rid of it.
Yeah, mass produced or whatever.
Yeah, so we really try not to do that. And, our beeswax candles, we primarily have beeswax candles because it's the cleanest and best for you. So a lot of our stuff comes from the health perspective. I don't know why, but,
I love that.
It's a little bit of my ethos, and I'm kind of like sharing it with the world.
I love it. Well, I'm excited to do the Flower Farmers book signing tonight.
Yes.
Thank you for hosting
awesome,
it.
beautiful book.
Well, I'm delighted to be here, and it gave us an excuse to collaborate on both your design demo, which I'm excited to film, and then having a chance to talk with your customers and guests about our shared values.
Yes, love it.
Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you. I was eating breakfast and I looked over at my plant that needed water, and I was like, oh wait, this is really cool. This could be a cool arrangement. So I am a forager at heart, and mind you, I'd already gotten all the flowers, so hopefully it all works. But I'm a forager at heart, so I love what Deborah does, and I forage items and flowers, and love the local farmer world. I often get I was telling Deborah I'm sad because Gather is no longer at the Flower Mart in the city, which is a bummer because it was kind of like shopping at Whole Foods in the old days where you could just buy and you knew it was good ingredients. Not really anymore, but Gather was like that. You just knew it was local and you didn't have to worry about it. So I miss them terribly, but there are still some nuggets at the market that you can get things from, and one would be Fagoni. He is the dahlia, grows beautiful dahlias over in Half Moon Bay. He also does beautiful ranunculus and hydrangea, and he's a wonderful second generation farmer. He might even be third, but his father had farmed in Hillsborough, which is kind of crazy. And then, a few stops and ended up on this beautiful piece of property in Half Moon Bay. So kind of interesting. That's just a little nugget. This is from a local farm as well. Some of it's from my garden, and the roses are from Need Brothers. They do hydroponic roses in Petaluma, but they have beautiful product. Always nice. So I am just going to start off. I'm going to show you. I told Deborah that I'm spoiled because I wasn't classically trained, so I never was addicted to floral foam. And so I didn't have to get myself off of it. I do see the ease of it, but I feel a little spoiled that way that I just come about this through my own journey and then got to study with some really amazing people along the way. So I've just put a large frog in there. I've glued it down with my my tape, which is this stuff I love. And that will just keep the frog in place. Now, because this is so deep, I also made a little chicken wire, and this is literally just a nest of chicken wire. And I made it so it would shove down in there and be tight without getting my fingers on the flower frog, because those are sharp. I did pull out a few of my other flower frogs just because I wanted to show you how many different varieties of flower frogs there are in the world. These are super fun because they hold water and they can go down a table. It'd be really cool. And this one is one of my favorites. It comes from Denmark, and they have a patent because it's hollow in the center, and it comes in different sizes, but it makes fabulous, really cool upward, and then a traditional, and this one's more traditional.
You sell some of those here, though, right?
I do sell floral materials.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's funny, you have all different pockets of people that come in looking for things. And I have some people that just come for floral supplies, I would say. So I am just filling this puppy with water. I usually don't fill something all the way with water until it arrives, and then I, if it's for delivery, and then I fill it. So if you're ever doing something. Now, I was on my way to a class, and an oak tree had lost a huge branch about 2 weeks ago. Awesome oak. And, I think one of the reasons why it fell was because it was so mossy. So I'm telling you, these were like such awesome branches that I got. It was totally worth it. And luckily the person that I was meeting understood. She knew what she was dealing with. So when I'm doing a big stem like this, I will typically make a really pointy end on it just to make sure that I can get in the frog. Because when I have heavy things, I want it to go down in the prongs, in between the prongs. This guy, I don't think is going to, I think I have to cut it.
Wow.
Yeah, it has to be cut, unfortunately. But we will, and we'll survive.
That is a beautiful thing.
Isn't that pretty? Yeah.
And it dried beautifully, didn't it?
Yeah.
That's the thing about oak. If you catch it at the right time,
Wow.
it will keep its leaves on like this and just dry. I should mention that I do like to use combined dried and living material. I think it's just kind of cool, especially this time of year where we still have like pretty flowers, but things are drying on and falling and doing their thing. I often create rivers with my material. And I often also find that this guy we're just going to kind of shove down in here and hope for the best. I find that, if I was doing this as a long, like I wanted the arrangement to be in place for quite some time, then I probably would tube my dried material, and it's kind of counter, like all the flowers would be in the water and the stem would be in a tube to stay dry. Okay. Because they do rot when they're dried, and then you stick them in water for a week. They don't like that very much.
So you're saying the tube would not have water in it. It would just protect the stems from getting wet.
Yeah, I use it in the reverse.
Before.
I'm not sure other people do it, but
Brilliant.
I love dried grass. So I'll also often make it into a loop and just tape it off and be able to use it as kind of a lot of movement. But I was thinking this could then. So what I've done is I've created a line with the branching. And then I'm probably the whole entire arrangement going to be going back through and emphasizing that line. Now, these came from the market. Torchio had them, and they came from a local farm, but bad on me, I forgot to ask them who. I think they're so sick of people asking if it's local or not, at least they're sick of me. And I've gotten to the point where I can kind of recognize the buckets of certain growers. And what I love, I have to mention this, what I love about things like this is, I'll literally be in the bucket, like picking which one I want just based on its kind of movement. And I think this guy is going to probably be the star. And he is quite big. And I almost need my lockers, but I think we can make this happen. And this will dry on, the purple will. It doesn't like to be in a cooler. So if you ever do come across an artichoke or cut it from your garden and you want to put it in water, just put it without, thinking that you need to refrigerate or cool it in any way. And it will dry that beautiful purpley blue color. And this guy's going to be pretty important to get him stabbed in there. We can accomplish that.
Wow.
And because this is a multi directional arrangement, I often think of, even if it wasn't, I would probably put something in the back that is of the same ilk to see this in another way. Like I'm thinking maybe this is going to go, kind of peeking over here or something. And I often will and it's once you get these big pieces in place that I then can kind of start just rolling with the flowers. And then when you only have 3 of something, you definitely want to make sure that you don't destroy it. Okay, and I usually don't use all that much greens, but at this time of year, I always feel like everything's so pretty that I end up using more than I would otherwise.
What is that, Melissa?
Sage.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Very long.
Yeah, isn't it long?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mine is
Amazing.
so much shorter.
So that was another thing from a local farm. I think actually this came from Fagoni too. So pretty, huh? A lot of times I feel like I know what things are, and then I love it when I ask them sometimes at the market and they're like, oh, that's fluffy possum. Yeah, no.
That's funny.
Because they don't know either. Just brought it to them and they said that looks good. Okay. Now, the question is if these guys are going to work into this situation.
Yes.
These are from my garden too. And
Amazing.
Especially when you're doing
so this is to bring in these peaches that I have. You see, I just keep on following that same line. Okay, so now I am not a fan of these guys. In fact, I can never even remember their names. Gladiolus. But this
They're
is
like
pretty a
funeral
fantastic
springs,
color, right?
Yes.
Okay, but here's the trick with these guys. I love them because I will cut them up. And you can make a whole arrangement of gladiolas and have the most fabulous, I have to come around front for a sec here. Just full arrangement.
So you take away that whole length of it and make it
Exactly.
and bring it down.
I take away the whole reason why people buy them.
Oh no, I never thought of that, but I like it.
Yeah, because oftentimes they have beautiful color. There's some really fabulous ones being grown now,
Uh-huh.
color-wise. And I feel like the color is just so special.
Yeah, look at the center.
So where's the front? What are you considering the front?
I'm considering this
Facing-
is going to be the front.
Facing us.
Mm-hmm. I've been designing from the back. Now, sometimes I'll end up liking the back better than the front, but this is what the back is looking like at the moment. And I think I'm just going to add a few of these real quick. Facing me, so I'm not back to you guys. I often work in a single color palette, but then sometimes I can go a little bit crazy. I love layering flowers. So there's things inside of an arrangement. And then there's another trick I actually love to do with dahlias. Because they're such a short-lived flower, I will, let's see one that's not looking as fabulous as another. They often do this, but my trick is, quickly show you. I learned this from Francoise Weeks years ago. Actually at Fioli. And she had a workshop there. It's like a 3-day workshop. It was so much fun.
You pull all of them off.
Oh my gosh, look at how cute this flower is. So this is on your spent dahlia. It's a whole nother flower.
Oh my god, and is that bright
Okay,
green?
I could spend a little more time
Wow.
making it perfect, but how cute is that? Okay, well, I'll turn it back around for a minute. Oh, look.
How heavy is that?
Coming together, it's not that bad, actually.
Wow.
Like I said, this is a little bit out of character for me with all this color. But I always, if I do use a lot of color, there's always a crossover. So the artichoke, though it doesn't seem like there's an obvious crossover, the sage is connecting it.
Do you have sort of a rule of thumb, like you like to have at least 2 or 3 of something? I'm super brand new at this, so I know this is a real.
Good question.
No, it's a good question.
No, I think it's a totally fair question. So I used to really focus on odds. I actually gave that up because I can't remember where I was or who kind of made me see the light, but I feel like you can have 2s if they're not looking the same exact way and making eyeballs. I think what happens sometimes with 2s, is you get eyeballs. And that's the one thing you kind of have to be careful with, at least with flowers, and especially if they're face flowers. But if they're not, then I don't know. I think 2s are really cool. Like if I only had 2 artichokes, I probably would have had one and then maybe 2, the second one lower tilted the other way to give the side profile of it and the face on or something like that. Because I feel like in that perspective, then you can have 2. And then they're just really fantastic and they're kind of your focal point.
Love that grass.
Another one.
So awesome.
They are so fun, and you can do it with all sorts of different grasses. This is actually from my garden. But I have a friend down in Redwood City who I tried to get to come, Deborah, but she's out of town. She has an amazing garden. And she has basically, her garden looks totally normal, like a normal garden, but it's actually a cutting garden.
Oh, wow.
Uh-huh. And she's done it so strategically. And I'm like, you don't know who Deborah Prinzing is? What is wrong with you?
Oh, well, take me there next time I come.
I know.
Yeah.
So I tried it, that's whose book that she wanted to book, but she couldn't be here. So I think, you know, it's just kind of, and I also think, you know, when you have the dried and you have like the artichoke, and it's just kind of fun to be wild
Yeah.
and not feel like you have to be, you know, sometimes it's really fun to be very like, very, you know, controlled and within the lines, but I can't say that's me very often. Everybody knows me. I retired my rebellious nature in life to being rebellious in flower arranging.
Are you following at all kind of, I don't even want to say formula with you here, but like, is there a little bit of that going on? Is that
Yes.
So
I started that with my greens when I first put them in, and that kind of laid my lines. And then I knew I wanted to put my artichokes in next because it needed to follow those lines, and also they're such big stems that they have to get in there in order to be able, like I couldn't get those in there right now because there's too many stems in there. And then I would say I typically do like something to drip and fall. Okay, this was another roadside, I don't know where I was, but the ivy was flowering. I was getting ready to. And
Yeah.
so I also, like where these two flowers are next to each other, I don't really like that too much. So I'll come in and have something float above it to kind of break them up because they are being too chummy. And then I might just add this down.
Melissa, what is that? What do you have in your hand?
Ivy,
What?
tree ivy.
That's tree ivy?
Yeah, I took all the leaves off.
Because it looks just nice. I thought it was like eucalyptus.
No.
Eucalyptus seed.
So they're all doing this right now. If you walk around,
Yes.
you'll notice.
Oh, the ivy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the season. And they hold on pretty well, actually.
In Mexico. Yeah.
Okay, we're gonna just do one more rotation. I don't wanna keep you guys too long.
Wow.
Just see what's going on this side. Now, I found these guys, and they're not 100% anymore. But they are so beautiful, and I felt like they were another bridge from the artichoke. But, slightly huge is the only thing. And, you know, the artichoke is kind of my huge thing. So I'm just not sure, but I'm gonna try it. Let's see. I typically do like to have a lot of different materials. And I'm remembering, I forgot, I also typically like to have it a vining something or other, and I forgot to get that out of my garden, so. I really like rivers, I call rivers, and so that's basically a flower that starts at one point and kind of has a flow through to the other side. And then I also am never against editing a leaf off. Because sometimes it's just too much. Yeah, this is very from the garden, people. Uh-huh. Okay, so I would probably keep playing with it. I have a rule, like I haven't even used the basil yet. That would go in there.
Yeah, with the purple.
Right? But I do have a rule that I always walk away from something. Because I find I can't be creative and critical at the same time. So I always walk away and go and do something. And then I'll come back with my critical eye. Sometimes I even take a picture of something. You'll find that if you take a photo, it's like a third eye. Jokes in there, just another idea. Okay, I bought these at the farmer's market. It once opened. The woman that I bought them from was very concerned that I was going to eat them. She said, very bitter, very bitter. I said, well, how long do they last? That's what I need to know.
It's bitter melon, isn't it?
Yeah. And she said, well, 3 days at least. And I said, okay, because really what I'm planning to do is do a flower arrangement with it. And
Oh, fabulous.
Oh, cool.
I would, want them to last a little longer
Gorgeous.
than
Oh my gosh.
It's your vignette.
you might otherwise. Okay, so I can't see what I'm doing,
You're
but
doing it.
I'm guessing. And this is my thought, a little high for the center of a table, but it could be on a buffet, a side table. But you could take your pot off and use it a different way.
It's just terrific.
So almost forgot to add that little nugget.
Sorry about
that.
It rivals the Dutch masters, Melissa. Oh my goodness. Thank you. You summed up the whole purpose of my life in this phase.
Amazing.